Like the dance moves right there.
Were you raving?
I was party timing it. It wasn't necessarily a rave, but more of like a party time dance move.
Party time dance move. So you just do the vote. You know what you're saying? You're like square box over my head, square box.
Uh,
Okay, I don't know.
I blame '90s music for why white people can't dance.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you ever listened to this '90s music and it's just like a beat that you just kind of just jerk your body to? It's like white people just jerk body jerks.
There's no rhythm. It's just like
Zero rhythm. It's just like and
it's like
it's just
we
jerk your body.
in comparison to white people dancing and everybody else, we are a square and everybody else is round.
Everybody else is more of like a shapeable object.
Right.
They
Well,
can
what I'm
just kind
saying
of
is,
flow with whatever's
yeah,
going, and
like a
we're just like
circle.
a
Yeah.
box just bouncing around. Hey, everybody!
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was an observation I had when I was in my truck and I heard '90s music come on. I was just like, this is the reason why white people can't dance because they thought it was cool to just jerk around, and so that's the only move that they ever learned was the jerk.
Like the movie Night of the Roxbury's, where they're just like,
Right? They just jerk that head because this is like, oh, it goes with the beat. This must be dancing.
yeah.
No, when in turn you're looking real stupid. Thanks, '90s or pop, whatever the hell it was. Thanks, '90s noise.
Noise. I like it. I like it.
Oh
I go for it.
boy.
So,
So back in the booth. What's up?
so here for episode 34. I'm excited.
34?
You excited?
3-4. I'm pumped. Pumped to be in the studio.
Hmm.
Back in the studio.
Back in the studio. Yeah. You were gone for a week, and now you're
Yeah,
back.
let's well, the thing that I was thinking about, and it's just like I want to ask you something. Have you ever just had the urge to where you're just like sitting around one week and you're just like, I got a great idea. I know what I want to do this weekend. And you're just like, hey, buddy, you want to do something this weekend? He's just like, yeah, sure. What do you want to do? And you're just like, well, we live in California. I got an idea. Let's drive to Georgia for the weekend just to hang out. What are we going to do there? I don't know. We go to B Dubs or something.
Right.
Cool. Totally. So you guys pile in the car in California, drive to Georgia, hang
For
out for the weekend.
for lunch.
Monday morning rolls around and you're just like, hey, well, we better get back to California. And you drive all the way back to California
I can't say I have gone as far as driving completely across the country, but I did
for a
go.
weekend.
Yeah, I didn't haven't done that, but I did go to. I drove to Vegas from Southern California to have lunch with a friend. So we piled in the car on a Friday morning. We drove to Vegas, had lunch, gambled in the afternoon, and then drove back.
But you're talking Vegas is what? You're from Southern California already, so you're
Three
looking like
3.5
five,
hours.
3.5, 3.5
Yeah,
hours? A little jaunt. It's a little jaunt down the
yeah,
road. Just a jaunt. You can
hmm
get there and back on a full tank of gas.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Well, mine went a little differently. I was just like, I'm a traveler of sorts.
Right.
I'm gonna drive to Georgia for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Why? For S&Gs. Because I think it would be
Yes.
freaking hilarious and fun and be real enjoyable. I want to see how the East Coast lives.
Right.
Let's head out. Pile in the truck.
Was it everything you imagined it would be? Well, okay, the drive there, because the drive back had to have been a little bit more difficult to do, all things considered. But the drive there was
Well,
probably full of anticipation. Wow, look at this new thing I get to see.
look at this state.
Yeah,
I'm just saying we knocked out 10 states in a one-way trip to Georgia. 10 states. You're talking California,
10 different states.
Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. 10 fucking states.
And,
In a matter of we stopped once. We stopped in Albuquerque for the night and
right.
then drove from Albuquerque, New Mexico to Georgia. Let me
Wow.
just fill everybody in on this here. I didn't necessarily choose to do this out of leisure or for fun. It was more of like, hey, here's a work opportunity. We're going to send you out to Georgia. for 4 months for some great, wonderful job training that'll help you in the long run. Perfect. Me and a buddy of mine, who I also work with, he's going to go along for the ride. He's going to go there with the training with me. We head out. Boy, this is great. I'm excited to get there. We get there. Sunday comes around. We get there on Saturday morning. So we stay the night Saturday. We're just like pumped. All right, Sunday. We get to check in, register for our class and everything. So show up Sunday for check-in. They're just like, nah, there's no course. What do you mean by that? When you say there's no course, it's just like it's pulling my leg here. No, you're not even in the system. There was no course. But it says here that I'm supposed to be in this course. Yeah, well, that got canceled. Oh, did it? Did it now? When did it get canceled? December 18th. Really? Look at my watch here, and it shows saying January 11th. Nobody decided to tell me? Oh, they sent an email. Did they send an email? Yeah, they sent it to the wrong fucking address. Thanks, fella. You mean to tell me you messed up 2 email addresses? Perfect. This is fun. Now I'm having a good time.
Right.
Now I'm having a really good time. Well, we decided that since we were already there for 3 hours trying to figure out the whole mess, that we might as well stay one more night. Went to Buffalo Wild Wings twice, 2 nights in a row. And then I watched the Denver Broncos lose. Icing on the cake. Well, better get back. Better get back to California.
You got to report to work on Tuesday.
All right. Well, let's head out. But on the bright side, we did actually, we took a different route coming back.
Yeah.
So we went, the first route we took to 40, Route 66. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Historic route.
Right.
And so the next route we took to 10, maybe see some different scenery. So this time we actually went through like the majority part of Texas. So we went down. The 10 goes right by San Antonio. So we drove from Georgia to San Antonio and went down to where my mom stayed and stayed there for a day. Got to go hog hunting. And then the next day we finished our trek.
Nice.
But I did learn some things on my coast to coast and back drive.
Yeah. Wait, before you get into what you learned, I do have a question. Was it you I was talking about? You remember how we were talking about like email, right? And the problem
Right.
the problem with email is that I create an email, I send the email off to whoever the recipient of the email is, and my job is done. I don't have to worry about it ever again because I did my part.
Hands are clean.
But in this instance, a phone call may have been
Just to be like,
sufficient.
hey, before I know you guys live in California, so before you drive all the way to Georgia,
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that you got my email.
Right.
No, I didn't. Well, good thing you called because I would have really sucked if I drove all the way to Georgia and back in a week.
Yeah,
No, I didn't get a follow up. Here's the kicker. You ready for the kicker?
but yeah.
We get back, right?
Huh?
And I was like, hey, show me what email they sent it to. I see it. There's my name and everything, but it was just the wrong address. I have my buddy that went with me. I was like, try to send me an email to this email account. He was like, all right. Test email is what he writes in the subject line.
Right.
Sends it, right?
Yeah.
He gets an email back saying that's an invalid email address.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm just like, you gotta be. So this person got this email back and was like, fuck it, they'll figure it out.
With no phone call, no email, they'll know if the
Like I want to
class is
fight them.
canceled.
Like I want to physically harm them in the face. Hashtag
face.
physically harmed in the face. Maybe not a punch, but a slap.
Yeah.
Challenge them to a duel.
Mm-hmm.
Sword them in the stomach.
Right.
Something of that nature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all sufficient.
Right. But I did learn something on my drive. There's a lot of stupid drivers in every state.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Every
doesn't
single state.
segregate. There's no stupid driving doesn't discriminate. They're all over.
Right. Because everybody talking about like all their drivers they have in their states and everything. No,
Yeah.
they're just stupid drivers everywhere.
Right.
If I'm driving down the road, don't sit in my blind spot and just cruise with me, you piece of shit. I'm just sitting there driving and I want to change lanes. So I look in my mirrors. I'm like, all right, cool. I start to change lanes. 'Cause I got a bunch of shit in my car, so I can't see all my blind spots out the window.
Right.
I go to change lanes and you're going to blare the horn at me? Okay, asshole. Why don't you just pass me? Don't just drive with me. This isn't a team. We're not a tandem. I don't know you're there.
Right.
Stupid. Stupid people. Also, coffee is a must when you're driving cross country. Only thing is, don't get your coffee from McDonald's. You know why? Because they put their coffee on scolding setting. So whenever you go to take a sip, I burnt my throat with the little what are the
Stir
steam.
stick? Oh, let's
With
see.
the steam alone burnt my throat. I went to go take a sip and I sucked that up and I was like, well, that was probably a bad idea. I didn't even get to the coffee part.
And,
Scolding.
and the thing is the world makes fun of that old lady that burnt herself on McDonald's coffee.
Because they have it so fucking hot. How about you tone it down a little bit? And it's not even that good a coffee. You burnt the shit out of it by putting it at scolding. Thanks.
Like it's like the Spinal Tap of coffee makers. Like this one goes to scolding. It's like
Yeah.
low,
What's
medium,
the highest
hot,
setting?
scolding.
460 degrees. Put it on that.
Yep.
Thanks. Yeah, it'll stay hot longer, but I can't drink it for a fucking hour. There's a lot of sleeping animals on the road. You ever just
Really?
driving down the road and you see an animal taking a nap right there on the side of the road? It's just like weird. That's a weird place to take a nap.
The only ones I've seen
What
taking
is that
naps
red
are
stuff?
dead ones.
He must have.
Yeah.
No, he must have been. He must have gotten into a jar of jelly,
Mm.
and he's just sitting there taking a nap. He
He's
got all
hungry.
tuckered out,
Yeah.
little fella. It's just weird. Maybe the road's warmer. I don't know. They just like to sleep right there. Silly guys.
It's true.
And truck drivers are one of the worst drivers in the middle of the night. Anyway, I'm just saying, you're driving a big ass truck. If you're feeling a little tired, pull off. You're getting real fucking swervy on the road, bro. That's a lot. That's a lot of weight and action you got going on up there. How about we just pull off and not fucking swing into my truck? Thanks.
It's just a tad bit safer. And you
Like, I understand that's your job.
but you think
That's
that
your job.
people driving a semi would be more cautious than somebody who's driving like a small passenger car.
Exactly, because that's what they do. You're out on the road every single day, and I understand that a job can get tiring and you don't want to do it anymore. But when that's your job, all you do is sit there and drive. You're feeling a little tired. Your truck has a fucking bed in it.
Yeah.
Pull over, snooze it out for a couple hours, get back behind the wheel, head out.
Yeah.
Don't fucking risk my life by getting real fucking squirrely out on those roads.
Because you
It's
have
dark.
to make a deadline for your shipment.
Right, exactly. Oh, I gotta get there. Well, you should have fucking thought ahead.
Which
Go to a local
probably-
truck stop, grab a line of cocaine, get out on that road again.
I guess that's what we want. We want truck drivers who are high on drugs. I think
Well,
that's
I'm just
worse
saying.
than what you're suggesting.
I'm just saying, if you're tired on the road, it's worse than being a drunk driver. Statistics.
Yes, that is very true.
I myself found myself tired at some points, but then I had a partner next to me that could keep me awake. We listened to comedy shows. Hilarious. That's the best thing you do. If you're feeling tired on the road, throw on Pandora comedy. Great. Just get you right back in tuned.
It's a good time, huh? Were we on there by chance?
We didn't quite make it to the Pandora comedy,
Oh, okay.
but I did listen to us during our route, so
Okay.
that was enjoyable, getting to hear myself talk. And then to tell myself, like, you're an idiot.
Mm.
Why are you still talking about this? That is over. Quit ranting on.
It's good.
I find myself to be my worst critic.
Yeah, that's normally how it works. I do that.
But yeah,
I do
so
that
I mean
all the time.
that was my week. I did that in a week. I went to California to Georgia and
Yeah.
back in a week. So if you ever just feel the need to like, dude, I want to go to fucking on the other side of the United States for the weekend, try it out. It may be worth it. Gas prices were low. I only paid over $2 for gas, maybe like 3 times the entire route. So I mean, the gas prices were fairly low.
That's pretty good, actually. I have noticed that. Like, that's like it's not the big story, but it's a big story worldwide that oil prices are down to like $50 a barrel or something.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. Like, I think it cost me the most it cost me to fill up my truck. I'd fill it up every time I got to about a quarter of a tank, and I think the most that it had cost me was when I think I paid $50.
That's
But for
pretty
the
good.
most part, everything else was underneath that. So I was pumped.
And now you're like the first
About
time in a
gas.
decade that it's awesome to own a truck.
Right, and then it's just like it's acceptable to be on the road with a truck.
Yep.
That gets 18 miles to the gallon.
4 miles to a gallon.
This isn't 1966, and I'm driving a fucking Chevy Guzzler.
Carbureted 350 small
Right.
block. Yeah.
Black smoke everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, all in all. So how was your week? Hopefully yours was a little bit more entertaining than mine.
My week was good. I'm gonna say that I didn't do much, but I did do some things.
I know for a fact that you did something because I received a few text messages about your something.
Oh, now I remember what I texted you.
You remember now? You remember having the text messages conversation?
Oh, let me text. It had to have been something, right? Let me see. Let me get
Well,
back.
the first text message you were like, "I got the iPhone 6. It's amazing."
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
I was like, I bet your hipster ass did.
yeah.
Keeping it
But
real hip.
it
My,
actually
my
wasn't
question
even for
is,
me. It was for my wife.
so why do you have it?
Well, okay. So I bought. She had an iPhone 4, right?
Right.
So I was like, well, I'm gonna. And she just kind of kept complaining that it wasn't that good. It kept freezing and not doing certain things, and so I was like, I was like, we'll buy a new phone. I won't be here to use a new phone, so I was like, I'll let you have it. So I bought her one, and then for like it came, I was like, oh, it's cool. And of course, I'm super excited because I like technology. I like new
Right.
things. Who doesn't like new things, new shiny
Right.
objects? Everybody likes it. Um, but because she didn't necessarily care for it, she was like, oh, I'll let you use it until you have to leave, and then I'll take it back. I'm like, okay, that's good. I can do that. Then the more I got to thinking about it, it's like, no, because I'm not going to want to give this thing up if I continue to use it. So then I had to buy a new one, and I was like, I'm not doing this. So I used it for 2 days, and I went back to my 5S, yeah, 5S, and she has the iPhone 6.
My wife actually asked me about that because I told her that you had got the new iPhone 6.
Yeah,
And she goes, how does that work there? Does he just buy himself a new phone and then he gives his wife the hand me down? And I was like, knowing Matt, that's probably exactly how that worked. You need a new phone?
this
Well, let me get the better one and I'll give you mine.
this time it I just we just bought her one, and I kept the 1 year old phone. But last year when I bought my phone new, the 5S, I I paid my money. I used my Matt money to pay
Matt
$700
money.
for a phone, right? And,
Right.
and so I was like, well, I'm not just going to give you my old phone. That's ridiculous. So I sold it to her for $100.
What? You made your wife pay you money
Yeah,
for a phone?
yeah. Because I could have
Not
sold it.
only
I could have sold it to
you're
somebody else.
married, though, it's like
No, it doesn't.
my
No,
money's
I
your
use
money.
no. I have Matt money. She has Lisa money, and our kids have their own accounts of whatever they have. So if the time comes and I want to buy a phone, I use my Matt. I save my money. I use my Matt money. I pay for a phone, right? Um, for instance, we had gone back to America a couple of years ago on a for vacation or whatnot, and I had money to fly back because I was already there for something else, and my daughter had money to fly back, but my wife was short about $800. She borrowed it from my oldest account, and she's still paying it back to this day.
That's a bit
Well,
ridiculous.
how
I
is it
mean,
ridiculous?
I get the concept. I get the understanding you guys have allowances. I
Right.
get that. But dude,
You
just holding it
you
against
no
her.
you.
You still owe me $26.42, and don't think I'm gonna forget about that 42 cents.
It's been several years since she bought the plane ticket to fly back home using my daughter's money, and I asked her the other day. I was like, "So you're gonna pay her back?" Like,
Debt's coming up here. I don't want to have to start taking some of your things.
the way I look at it is that the money that's going to my daughter is going to be for her when she turns 18. So
Right.
$100 a month or $150 a month until she turns 18 is hers, But the thing is we use their money to buy bedroom sets or to buy school
I get that.
uniforms or do whatever. That way we have the money and we could just put it toward whatever it is. But if we use that money and it comes time to buy school uniforms or to buy a bedroom set or buy whatever, we don't have any money. So
Yeah. That's pretty much the same thing I do with my daughter as far as just like anytime that we get her new clothes or anything that she needs. Like if she needs, diapers and everything like that. Like her accounts has way more money than my accounts do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that way, anytime that we buy anything that's specifically that she needs, then we take it from her account.
Right.
I mean, I filled that fucking thing up, so I better be able to take something from it.
Yeah. And then when she,
You know what I'm saying?
like rebels against you when she's 18, you'd be like, it's my money because you never knew about it, and I'm not going to give it to you.
Fucking lockdown. Cool.
Yep.
Look at this. I'm about to go buy some shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Like my kids will not know that they have, $30,000-$40,000 in the bank a piece because I'm not going to tell them. Because I don't want them to be like,
And then when
oh,
college comes around,
money.
you're just like, you know what? I got your college funding for you. You don't
Right.
worry about it.
Yeah.
When all in actuality is you're using their money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or they want. I have 2 daughters, so if they want a wedding, guess what they're going to use? They can freaking use their own money. Like, I'm not paying for it.
Dad'll pay for the wedding.
Yeah. Little do you know, you're paying for your own wedding. Wait.
And here's your $20 that you had left in your account.
Yeah. Wait, but technically, isn't it? I'm paying for their wedding still because it's my money going into their savings account. You know what?
I mean, in the long run,
I get
you're just
screwed.
saving up for it.
I get screwed either way. Whatever.
Yeah, your money.
Yeah, my money.
But still, you charged your wife $100 for the phone instead of just being like, "Hey, here you go. Here
Yeah.
you go, sport."
Yeah, I did that.
Wow,
Sorry.
quite the democracy you have in your house.
Yeah, I like to think of it as dictatorship. I make the rules.
Mm.
My way or the highway, as the saying goes. The old adage.
I've seen that highway. I have 3 best friends on that highway: dash line, white line, and yellow line. Best friends.
Forever.
Mhm.
BFFs.
Mhm.
Yeah, but so yes, iPhone 6. I bought it. It's nice. It's actually not that bad. It's a little bit bigger than kind of what I'm used to, but it's fine.
So you got the bigger one? Because isn't the littler one like the size of the iPhone 5?
No, the iPhone 6 is actually bigger than the iPhone 5, but it's smaller than the 6 Plus because the 6 Plus is like an iPad Mini.
What happened? Like what why is it with phones that you always go like, oh, we need big phones, and all of a sudden we go back and we need small phones?
I don't know.
Why do you want to carry around a fucking flat screen in your pocket? What are you doing that you need like, oh, I can watch videos? Well, if you're spending the money to be able to fucking see videos better on your phone, you're doing something wrong here.
Buy a laptop and a 3G card.
Work more. Buy an iPad.
iPad, yeah. You do that.
If your phone can't properly fit in your pocket, you've gone too far. If you need a fucking satchel for your phone, you've gone too far.
Yeah. Thank you for referring to it as a satchel, by the way, not a man purse.
Immerse.
Yeah.
Hashtag Merce.
Well,
Do you still have your satchel?
I do, yes. There's actually a thing, iPhone Bendgate. It was like hashtag Bending Gate or something. I don't remember what it was now. But when the
Been
iPhone,
gay, like icy hot?
No, Bend Gate. You bent a piece of paper and bend gate.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so when the iPhone 6 first came out, like it's larger, right? So there was like this whole like hashtag thing called Bendgate, and like the theory was it was like, well, now the iPhone 6s are bending, they're shoddy materials or whatnot.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But it was basically the premise behind it is that there's more surface area, so it takes less tension to bend it because it's larger surface area.
Right.
But there's a big uproar about it. But anyway,
I have an idea. Buy a fucking phone case. Problem solved.
Something.
Quit trying to bend it. I bet that was a lot of the problem. People were just going like, oh, it does bend. Fuck, snap. My fucking iPhone sucks. They just snapped it. Well, quit trying to fucking bend it. It's not made to be bent. It bends easily. Don't try and bend it.
Yeah.
Hashtag you're an idiot.
Hashtag you're an idiot, yeah.
Yeah, so buy a case. Spend the $40 or whatever it is for the case and protect it.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so besides the iPhone, that's, I guess kind of got on a tangent there for iPhones. Like, the thing has been out for 6 months now.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I started, and all this stuff, people are probably like, this stuff came out like 8 months ago. Like, what do we care?
Like,
anyway,
is this an old episode? What episode number is this? What have we got, 22?
This is 34, by the way. Okay, so what I did this week, I actually started taking painting lessons, which I'm excited about.
Mm-hmm. So, like an actual class that you're going to?
Well, yes and no. It's
A
a class.
YouTube course?
No. I'm going to someone's home, and they are instructing me in the arts of painting, oil paintings to be precise. And it's very enjoyable. And I've gone twice now. It's very good. I like it.
Like a stress reliever?
Well, that and I've always liked to paint, as you can see behind me. The awesome things I've done. I've always liked to paint, but I've never had like a formal class, so I don't know like the structure behind the basic concepts of painting.
Ah,
So
like the
I'm going
techniques
here.
and everything?
Yeah. So
Do you drink wine while you paint? Like the wine and paint shops?
no, I have never heard of these.
They're all over the States. I see people all the time posting on like on Facebook and everything like that. It's like you go to this, I think we talked about this before, but you go to like it's like a specific place. You go there, they give you the canvas. I don't know how much it is. Probably a BYOW. I don't know. But you go there, you get a canvas. You have somebody that's up there teaching you, a technique or something like that. And while you're painting, you're drinking wine. So I think you drink wine, watch somebody paint it. You drink wine, you paint it, and it's supposed to be like a social thing. You go there with like friends or something like that. It's more women that do it. I've never really seen any guys there. I mean, I think, enjoy it. But then you come out there with a sweet painting and you're hammered.
Yeah.
Win win.
So
Just
what you're
make sure
saying
you have someone to pick you up.
is the first half of the painting is phenomenal, and then the second half where you start getting buzzed is like, it's all like droopy.
And this is where I got hammered.
Yeah.
Slap some paint on there.
Yeah.
That color doesn't go with that. I know, but it's cool.
Doesn't even matter. Yeah.
Now that's art.
That's art. But yeah, so I've been doing that, and it's very it's therapeutic. Obviously it's therapeutic, but it's good. And I finished the painting.
Where do you get the ideas as far as what you're going to paint? Like, where do you get the
Oh, I took a picture of my daughter
inspiration?
actually, and that's what I'm painting. Is like her portrait. So yeah, I know. Big move for me because I'm used to like robots on pictures that are already painted.
Yeah.
And so I'm painting a portrait of her as my.
Is it going to be like a
husband.
Van Gogh or something like that, where these distorted faces and like triangle nose and just
That's
something
Picasso, but no.
Picasso?
Yeah, no.
Either way,
No, they're
either way's
completely
fine.
different people. Anyway,
Painters,
so
artist.
okay, so but yeah, so I'm painting that, and then the other one I painted the Great Wave from the 360 views of Fuji the other day.
Yeah.
I put it up on my bedroom.
I actually saw that after you had posted that picture and everything. I forget what I was on, but I saw that almost that exact painting, everything like that, as like a chest piece tattoo.
Yeah, it's a
I
very
was like, well,
famous.
that's neat.
Yeah, lots of people do that.
Maybe you should go that route. Maybe you should start as a painter, become a tattoo artist.
That would be cool. However, you have to have artistic abilities to be a tattoo
Capabilities?
artist.
That's true.
I don't have that. So, but I would love to learn how to tattoo. I also want to learn how to do falconry. I know, nerd alert, right?
Falconry,
Yeah, you know what falconry is?
where you talk to falcons. I'm
No,
confused.
falconry is the art of. It's basically they train falcons to hunt, and so
How would you do that?
you have to go through an apprenticeship, like a 7-year apprenticeship, and you
7 years?
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be like, I'm devoting my life
yes,
to becoming a falcon.
Falconer.
Are you called a falconer?
I think I don't actually I don't know.
Falconry, the study of falcons. I am now a falconer.
Yeah, well, it's big in the Middle East actually, like falconry, and you'll find places like around like airports that have it because they fly like hawks or falcons or owls or whatnot to scare off smaller birds so they don't get in airplanes. Yeah,
Makes sense. But I wouldn't imagine there's a lot of money into that.
no,
Do you buy your own? Is it a BYOF? A bring your own falcon?
Yes, it is.
And so you'd have a falcon living in your house
Yeah, like in the
named
backyard.
Harold,
Mhm.
George,
Whatever I want. I can name it Jesse if I want to.
Christopher. I mean, I am vicious.
Flattery, obviously, right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Perfect.
But would that be cool? Like you have a falcon in your house, and like you can
I mean,
take
it
it out
would
in the
be.
field and fly this falcon and have it catch rabbits and whatnot.
Until you take that little battle helmet off and it freaks out and just starts picking you up and taking you out. So do you start out with a baby falcon, like a little chick?
Yeah, I think you
Little-
have to raise it from basically from scratch. From the hatch? You have to raise it from the hatch?
From the egg.
Yeah.
You take the egg home. It hatches. You're the first to see it. It knows your mommy.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I
I've seen
don't.
cartoons. I know how it works.
Yeah, they pop out and the shell still on its head.
Yep.
Hmm.
Mama. You know it. Come here, little guy. That's funny. I don't. How do we get on these subjects? Anyway,
Anyway,
back to how your week was.
it's good. I went painting. It was phenomenal. Thank you for asking.
You did go to a trivia night.
Oh,
Was that trivia night that you went to at the local establishment?
I did, yeah. Did I text you about this?
Yeah, oh yeah, we went back and forth there for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You're about 10 in.
No, it was like 2 in.
Well,
Okay, here
you
it is.
text me.
All right, so. Oh, okay. So this, I guess I could read off the conversation for a little bit of backstory for everybody. So just bear with me.
Backstory.
All right? So I was telling Jesse that I had just got. So I'm at the local club, the local establishment. I'm having a beer, waiting for trivia night, right? And I'm like, hey, guess what
Trivia
I got?
night.
I got a new iPhone 6. You know, it's pretty awesome, sweet. And he's like, so you're at the club? Of course you did, referring to the iPhone 6. I says, you gotta stay hip. And I was like, hip, ellipsis, stir, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, correct. And I was like, all right, whatever. He's like, okay, you win this round. Oh, you win.
Right. Win. Trivia night.
You ask, like, why are you at the club? And I was like, oh, well, this was my reply. I was like, I'm here listening to the bartender tell her friend about having kids. And I was like, boo. Like, what? Like, all right. I was like, it's supposed to be
Great bar
trivia.
talk.
Yeah. Like, hey, I just had 2 kids. Look at this. Ooh. Like, I don't care. Give me a beer. So it was supposed to be trivia night because all around where I work, they have this flyer. It's like trivia night on Tuesdays. Come out, enjoy it, have fun, whatever.
And you were just thinking, the witty guy that I am,
Yeah.
I'm about to go in here and shut this place down.
I'm about to go in there and win $50. That's what I'm about to do. Trivia night.
What is the trivia on? Is it just of any subject, or was it just
Yeah, it's like history.
they
pop
pick something
culture,
for the
science.
night?
Yeah, it's like six random topics, and then they go through for like 2 hours, and you score the most points. You win. Okay.
I see.
So I get there, I'm like, okay, so trivia night. I can look around, I'm like, there's nobody in here. I asked somebody, and they're like, oh, it's on Thursday. And I was like, but the sign says Tuesday. So
I have the flyer right here, buddy.
Yeah, so they changed the days and never took down the signs to be like, hey, it's on Tuesday or it's on Thursday.
So it was like an insider knowledge knew that it got changed.
Yeah. So
you're the guy on the outside ready to come in here and just shut this place down, and you're thinking Tuesday.
Yeah.
So you've already prepped, and now did you play any like trivia games prior to this to try to get yourself?
No, I don't need that.
Get your mind working.
I can do this.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just was there by myself, upset, and I was like, I'm not gonna go home empty-handed. And so then I just had a couple of beers, and then I left.
Quite a few.
No, it wasn't a few. It was like 2 or 3.
I see.
Or 7. I don't know. I after a certain memory, I can't recall. So yeah, and the sad thing is I was there by myself, so I was like, all right, whatever. And that it was probably because it was on Tuesday and trivia night wasn't on Tuesday. So I was like, oh, don't show up. They're not having it.
I can only imagine the kind of people that are at the bar on a Tuesday. I bet it was real lively.
Yeah, it was. No, it was kind of not. I was sitting there, right, and this woman, like, I don't go to bars, so I don't know what type of small talk happens at them. So I was just sitting there. Of course, I'm minding my own business because I'm not talking to anybody, right?
Super introvert. Like, you should just have a sonomy. Don't talk to me.
Right. And I got the facial expressions going on, like, why are you talking to me, lady?
Yeah.
But the woman was like, she looked at me, she's like, is it cold in here? And of course, I have this, like, giant jacket on. I'm like, no, I'm fine. Like, what's your problem? And then,
I came prepared. I'm good. Thanks,
yeah. And then that was the thing. And then she didn't say anything to me. So I was like, that's the most random thing. Who cares? You're cold. You have a jacket on.
She's just trying to break the ice.
I don't
Is
care.
it cold in here?
No. You know what you can do? You can talk to the woman behind the bar talking about having kids. You guys have something in common. Sorry. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, so that was my night. So yeah, I went painting. It was good. Thank you. That was my
It's
week.
exciting.
That was the exciting part of my week. Was painting. Everything else was bust. I gave up my iPhone 6. I went to trivia night. Couldn't do it.
My week was a bust too, so I'm
Man,
right there with you.
it's like ever since we started having good weeks on the podcast and telling people about our good weeks, it just goes downhill.
Hey, but look at this. Life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? How many other people would say they drove across the United States and back in a week? Not very many. Maybe a truck driver, but even still,
Yeah, it's good.
shitty.
Yeah. So let's since we're 40 minutes into our weekly conversation, let's
Let's get in on something.
let's talk about some news.
Yeah, hit me up. Hit me with the stories.
I saw this. It was a couple of weeks ago, I think, but it was in regards to the show Eaten Alive.
That
Right?
fucking piece of shit of a show.
Yes. So
Major bust.
yeah. So there is a new president at the Discovery Channel, and this new president has declared there are no more BS policy. All right. Basically, what he's saying is that all these shows like Eaten Alive and the Megalodon documentary need to stop because they're idiotic and they're not
Yeah,
doing
they're fucking
anything for
lies.
anybody. Yeah, you know.
Dude, it's just like, because think about it. You turn to the Discovery Channel to learn shit. You know what I mean? Like, when I was a kid, I'd look, Discovery Channel, man, I'm about to learn some shit about some animals or fucking Earth,
Yeah.
space. I'm looking to it for knowledge. And if you're going to sit there and lie to me and then make me look stupid when I'm talking to people about the shit that I saw on your channel,
Yeah.
yeah, Discovery Channel. You're not there for fibbery. You're
Yeah.
there for actual knowledge.
Yeah. It actually he has a quote here talking about the Eaten Alive stunt. Right. He says it was the right intention for the packaging that was misleading. He said uh, the guy Paul cares deeply about snakes and wanted to draw attention to deforestation. Right. So that was the major concern, I guess. So you don't have to be sensational or so sensational. In his mind, he thought it was actually possible, but the fever of that story got out of control because everyone's like, "Hey, eat alive, it's be eaten." He says, "I don't want to believe you that you'll see a person eaten by a snake anytime during his time there." So he's just like,
So basically, like, he's not gonna to put this shit out that's gonna be basically shit. Like, he's gonna put
yeah,
out real stuff,
right,
stuff that's educational,
yeah,
not
stuff that people,
just hoopla.
yeah. Like like what he's saying, if the guy wants to talk about deforestation, then maybe he should bring deforestation to the front and center instead of trying to beat around the bush,
Right, and say
go through
like, hey,
the live
this
thing.
is where I stand on all this stuff
Yeah,
and everything, and I'm going to try and see if this would be possible. We have the suit and everything. I'm going to see if not be like, I'm going to be eaten by a snake today. I'm going to see what the inside like.
yeah,
You're hyping up the wrong things because now I'm expecting you to be fucking inside, and I got an inside view of the snake and you sitting in there.
right.
No, that's not what happened.
No,
Took you 45 minutes to find a fucking snake, and then 15 minutes of it you decided to punk out.
right.
Yeah, I like this guy. I like this new president. It's probably why the other guy got fired because all this shit was going in there.
Yeah,
Like Megalodon, dude. I was like, that whole documentary. I was like, dude, it's a real thing. Like, why else would they put it on? They wouldn't just put lies up here.
right.
Fucking lies. Mermaids, fucking lies. Even though I still think they're possibly there, as well as Megalodon, but made up stories.
Right.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. I'm a grown ass man and I got upset for it. Think about the little kids that are fucking, they're gonna be like, I'm gonna do a report on Megalodon. I'm gonna do a report on the Little Mermaid because they said it was real.
Right.
Fucking piece of shit. It's very upsetting.
Sad.
Like I was hyping that up. I was showing people that, like I showed my sister-in-law. I was just like, hey, you have to watch this. Mermaids are real. She watched it. She was like, I don't know. No, they're real. God, had me feeling stupid. You know how I'm a promoter of things. I just promote the hell out of all that shit, and then it's just like, dude, right here, we lied about it. Cool, thanks.
The thing is like you can't regain that trust. Like
No.
Like think about it. Like on a personal level, if someone burns you, and like you're not going to ever trust them again. I mean, you may
it's like you lied to me
trust them,
before.
but it's going to take lots and lots of repair to build that confidence back.
It's like all that shit like on Shark Week. Like, how much is this Shark Week shit actually real now? Like, you know what I mean? You're fabricating the hell out of everything. Like, give me the facts.
Right.
That's what we come to this channel for the facts, not for you fucking MTV real world.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Yeah. What was it? Doesn't the History Channel do something like that? Where they have like uh,
Yeah, History Channel's doing the same
outer
shit.
space or like UFOs coming to Earth stuff? It's like
Well, I know that History Channel they were doing a lot of those stuff, but it was like based on like stories that people were saying and everything. So
uh,
they're trying to like research it and everything, but they still like try to turn it to where it's just like, well, you're putting a little fucking fiction in there.
right. Yeah.
It's just what it's like we said, man. Reality shows aren't reality anymore. I mean, nothing's really real.
Yeah. Yeah. Not until I wear
Stupid.
that GoPro around for a week and a half and then show the world.
That's real,
Hmm.
real life shit.
Yeah, it is.
I love my GoPro. You need to get a GoPro and just GoPro everything
Have you?
because you're gonna GoPro.
So this is us getting off on a sub topic. But have you recorded anything
Dude,
recently?
I have my whole memory card on my GoPro is completely filled to the brim.
Wow.
I'm right now in the process of because you remember I said I was taking it to do my whole hunt and everything. I
Yeah.
was doing my hunting stuff. I have so much footage of that hunt and everything. So I'm in the process. I'm chopping up videos and putting it all together to make one whole video with the music and all that stuff. So it's a process, but yeah, I got a lot on there. As far as day to day stuff, there's not a lot to GoPro day to day. But having a GoPro is gonna make me want to be more adventurous, so I can go pro with it.
Yeah. Make that
Hashtag going pro.
Make that YouTube money.
I don't think I'll ever make YouTube money.
Oh.
It's a fun thought though.
Well, I'm just saying that's like the cool thing to say if you have a YouTube channel. Make that
YouTube
money.
But in turn, YouTube money's hard work,
Yeah, it's a
a
lot.
lot of hours and dedication.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as everybody thinks. I don't think.
No. You know how hard it is to come up with stuff for the show every week? Come
For
up with
us,
content every day? No, not happening.
not hard at all.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We literally just get on here and BS about what's going on in our brains.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. So back to the topics of news. What do you got? You got anything good? Since Discovery Channel is going
Uh,
on a reboot, apparently.
What did you see all the? I was watching the all this news and everything lately, and you see all the Oscars nominations came out, right?
Yeah, I've seen the Oscar nominations. It's in the news, probably for the same reasons you're about to say. So yeah,
Yeah, like they just been getting a whole bunch of backlash or whatever like that because it's talking about. I mean, they talk about it because like all the nominees and everything are white, right?
yeah.
I mean, that's pretty. That's
Well,
pretty much what
for
they're saying.
Best Picture, I think.
I don't know. I know that all the nominees and everything like that for like actor and actresses and supporting actor and all this stuff, they're all white and like director or something like that.
Mhm.
Anyway, and so they're getting all this backlash for it, saying all this stuff. But like I get that and I see that and I can see why people could be upset with that and everything. But at the same time, it's just like this is they go off of performance alone. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
go off of who's doing what, who's better than who, not necessarily like who's what color, who's
Right.
this and that. You know what I mean? So it's just I think the media is really bringing it more to light as far as that goes than anything. Because I mean, I don't think that there's a committee of people that are just like, nope, we're not going to have any Asian people or any black people or any Indian people or anything like that. I don't think that they're going forth as that. I think they're just taking what they have, the information of the movies and who's doing what, and they just set them out. Because I mean, think about it. For every category, there's only like five people per category.
Right, yeah.
Think of how many movies came out this past year.
Now, a lot of times they repeat. Like one movie will be nominated 12, 14 times or whatever.
Right, like it's just like it was just a phenomenal movie. So I mean, you have to
Yeah.
pull people from the whole thing. So I think it's kind of frustrating because it's just like it's just you're creating something that's not there.
Right.
And I think that's what a lot of the media is doing. And so you get a whole bunch of people like kids and people that maybe don't know the whole facts and they just see what the media is putting out there and they're just like, oh, yep, there it is again. And now we're going to go into this whole thing about all this stuff. And it's just like it's not necessary. It's just like there's more important things to talk about in the world than creating a race issue. Like
Yeah,
it's 2015. I'm pretty sure race issues are out the window for the most part. I mean, I know it's still there,
Yeah.
but I think you're just trying to create stuff that's not necessary.
It, the way I look at it is like I don't have an issue with anybody. You could be white, black, Mexican, like I don't care, Arabic, whatever, I don't care. Gay, straight, woman, male, doesn't matter. I think that the problem is that what you're saying is that people will see these movies and it's based off quality and content.
Right.
And okay, so there's this what's this one, Selma about Martin Luther King. That's one that they're having issues with. Is like okay, we make a movie. And I say we is the cast and the people who produce
Right.
this movie. We create this movie and we're kind of upset that we put our heart and soul into it and that nobody necessarily recognizes it. But that's not to say that it's not good in its own right. Like
Right.
just if I make a painting, it's not the greatest painting in the world, but I think it is. You know what I'm saying? And so
Right. No,
these
like
same
it's
people do
just
the
like
same
you
thing.
see it and you're just like you're gonna look at it like, oh, I know this is
Yeah,
better than their movie and everything like that. But you have these a committee of people that this is their job. This is what they
yeah,
do. They go in there. They look beyond just what the actual story is about, and they look at like what kind of lighting or what kind of
yeah,
you know wordplay or actors how they're
yeah,
interacting with each other. What they're dressed in.
yeah,
It goes a lot deeper than what I think people really understand. I think that movie actually it's nominated for something.
yeah. Best
It's like best
picture
screen,
and the best song, I think.
right?
Yeah,
And so I mean, there is aspects in it, but it's just like I think people look at it as just like, oh, well, this is a huge thing. It's a movie that hasn't been done before, and what it represents, and so they expect it to be like, oh, well, this is a new movie. This is what it represents and everything. But they don't look at what it represents. They look at the movie
yeah.
at in itself.
Well, yeah, and the people that are saying like they're crying foul are well, basically like, well, the director of this movie, Selma, they should have gotten a nomination because they were the first African American female director.
But that's not how it works.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that doesn't matter. Like if you want to create good content, they create good content. It doesn't matter. Like she is no different than Steven Spielberg, except Steven Spielberg has years and years and years of experience. So if you look at
Exactly.
his first movies, they weren't that good either. You know what I'm saying? It takes practice. Like you can't just make something and expect it to be the greatest product ever.
And it is a good movie, especially for a first time person that's making a movie. But just because of who she is doesn't mean that
Yeah,
she necessarily deserves to be a part of being
yeah,
nominated. Because then it's just like now you're just giving awards out because of who she is.
right,
You're not giving the award out because of what it actually supposed to represent as far as
right,
being just a phenomenal movie. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a good movie, but maybe it's just not as high a quality yet.
yeah,
Doesn't mean that she can't make a movie this next year, the year after, that's just absolutely phenomenal to get nominated. But you shouldn't be nominating people based on who they are.
right,
You
yeah,
should be nominating based on what they did.
yeah. Like, it
And I,
personally kind of aggravates me that we even have categories like this, like the first female African American director be nominated. Like it doesn't matter. Like why do we
it doesn't
have
matter
yeah
race,
why do we have to have
sex, anything.
categories? Like we have a director who directed a film, and this is what their name was. Simple. Like what is
You
it?
should just leave it at that.
Hold on. Is it Martin Luther King? Said Con. It was like Martin Luther King. That was it's like looking at his content and not. Yeah, here he is. It says and this is the funny thing is like this is a movie about Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of ironic in the sense it says I look to the day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Right,
You know
and
what I'm saying?
that's the whole point of the Oscars is the content of what they did, not by the color of skin. And so now it's just like they
Yeah,
almost want to be nominated because of who she is and everything. And it's just like I feel they're just creating more that doesn't need to be created.
yeah, yeah,
And they I've seen all these tweets and all these things about this whole thing, and it's just like they were tweeting all this stuff like there was no people of color and all this stuff, and it's just like why I feel like that's a racist slur in itself. Like why I don't think you know Asian, blacks, white, whatever. I don't think anybody wants to be referred to as people of color. Like that's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like that's a term that was used way back in the day. That it's just like I don't. I feel like that's almost a racial slur, and so it's just
Well,
I.
even like I mean, last week we kind of joked about like the Indian, like the dot not feather. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Right.
But like I say, if I say white person, I'm not like I could go back into a specific ethnic class and say, hey, there's a Caucasian male. The Caucasian male is basically a region of the world from the Caucasus, which means it's white people, like white skin color and things like that.
Right.
But nowadays, like you can't necessarily classify like, hey, I work with an Asian individual at work. You know what I'm saying? Like there's we
Technically,
are people. Like we can't necessarily create these subcultures, these subclasses of individuals and or subcategories of individuals, and then put everybody into a mold. Like you can't do that.
right. Right.
Because then you do end up, slipping in. Well, oh, he called me black, or he called me white. But what do I call you? Like,
Yeah.
I
I mean,
work with
because
an
think
African
about it.
American male
Even
at work, but you don't want to be called African American. What do I call you?
think about it, like an Asian person lives here in the United States. They refer to them as an Asian person, but they're not Asian. They're not from Asia. Maybe their ancestries,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Maybe they descent from Asia, but they're not Asian. They're American. Just like an African
yeah,
American. You're not your family's probably lived here in America for generations upon generations.
yeah,
So they're not really African. They're not an African American. They're an American.
yeah, yeah.
You wouldn't say English American. You know what I mean? It's just because technically we came from England or whatever. So
Right.
I
Yeah.
just think,
It's a very delicate subject that was
yeah, it's very
that
touchy.
we have inherited, but we don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I don't like to put down that I am white other. Like, what does that mean? Like I belong to somebody,
Right.
but it doesn't matter. Like I have a name, I have, who I am. That should be enough. I don't need to go into further explanation and break it down into these various things.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Like I've been seeing this all over the news and all of the stuff, media. Everybody's talking about this Oscar stuff, and it's just like it kind of just frustrates me for the fact that it's just like you're just creating something.
Yeah,
You're putting like it's not. It shouldn't be looked at like that. Like, oh well, we better nominate him because this is an Asian, or we better nominate him because this is the first of this person to do this. It's just
right.
I feel like it's being created. I mean, there's like 300 and some freaking award shows. Like if you've seen, like I put the list on there. There's a list of award shows that are put on TV every year. There's like probably 80 film award shows. This is one of those award shows. Like, is it? I know this is a big one,
Mhm.
but I mean, come on.
Wait, how many movies were there that were looked at of the Oscars?
I
Do you
think it's
know?
every film that was. I think for the most part. I think it's every film that's basically made that year
Mhm.
gets looked at, and then it gets. Obviously, you're gonna steer away from ones that are just like for just S and Gs.
Yeah,
But I mean, I think every film ends up getting looked at for the most part.
yeah. I just did a quick Google search, and it was like the Oscars continue to slight women's stories. Okay, so now women are upset because somebody didn't put this movie into the Oscars with Reese Witherspoon. I don't know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like again, like if the
It's
movie's
not.
good,
Yeah,
if
it's
the movie is good, it will be recognized for what it is. If the movie is
right.
bad,
We're not.
then that's what it is.
It's not. We're not all 10 years old. We're not going to get a participation ribbon. Like this is the real world. It's in the like you're making movies. It's a competitive
Yeah,
thing.
it's a
You can't
business.
just go in there. Yeah, you can't just go in there and just be like, oh well, this one better get nominated because of what it represents. Like no, it should be nominated based on how good the quality is,
Yeah,
and that's it. Not basically what the movie's about. That's not what the movie's. It's not what an Oscar's supposed to be about.
right,
It's supposed to be how the movie was portrayed, how it was acted out.
right. Yeah,
Frustrating. I think people just see the top layer and they don't really think about what it actually supposed to represent, and it's just very upsetting.
yeah.
So I can only imagine what's going to happen when the Oscars actually do air. If it's gonna get even worse and worse all the way
Yeah.
through, and people are just going to be all freaking out like,
Up,
"Oh, I'm
up
not watching
until
the Oscars,"
yeah. But
and it takes away from the people that did phenomenal things. You know what I mean?
mhm,
The people that did the great acting that got nominated, and it takes away from them now.
right. Well, though the news will be talking about it up until the Oscars, and then probably a week or so after, and having various commentators on to discuss why movies weren't included or whatnot. But come July, nobody will even care. Like, oh, whatever. Next
It's
news
true.
topic.
It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
And this is the other thing: is of the movies that are nominated for like Best Picture and whatnot, I haven't even seen any of them, so I don't even care.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Like
the majority of these movies.
the one I think was good was the Lego Movie. Didn't even get one Oscar on, so whatever.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, as a regular person, like, what what does it matter? Who cares who's getting Oscars or whatever? I don't. As long as the movie's entertaining, I could care less who got the Oscar, who's getting nominated. I just think like, oh man, that was a really great movie. I don't give a shit what a panel of judges has to say.
Yeah. Well, it's like
I watched the movie for me, not for what it's gonna, not for the award that it got.
right. Well, and this thing is like you talk about like shows, like award shows. You said there's 84 of them.
I don't know. It's just
Uh,
number thrown out there, but there's a shit ton of.
there's
I put the list on there. It's a ridiculous amount.
yeah. I'm looking at one right now. I'm looking at the list you put on here, right?
Yeah.
Here's one. The 2014 Collegiate Women's Sports Award Show. It will take place June 6th.
See,
The
just
the 2014 Do Something Awards.
dude, we should have the fucking 2015 listener award
We could.
for the person who listened to our podcast the most.
Right. Yeah.
Boom.
We should do that. It'd be like,
I'm just saying, like they make award shows for literally everything.
here's
The
one.
people's choice, the critics' choice, the fucking kids' choice.
Here's one. I don't even know what this is. Is VHI Divas. I don't even know what that is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody gets a participation medal. Like,
Yeah.
that's what this looks like to me. Like, there are certain things. I mean, yeah, the Oscars
Way to
is
come
kind of
out
an
and play.
institution. Yeah, like the Oscars to me is like an institution. The Grammys is an institution. But like, do you really need to have the MTV Music Awards and the MTV Music Video Awards and the
Kids' Choice
BET?
Awards, People's Award,
Yeah,
Critics Awards.
everybody wins something.
Fucking.
It means nothing
You should
anymore.
have one for movies, one for Broadway, one for music,
Right.
maybe for each category. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's out of hand. People are just creating award shows just
Right.
to create them.
Well, it's not just to create them; it's to recognize the individuals or the achievements that weren't recognized in the original award show.
Yep,
Yeah.
I can see
So
that.
that's exactly what it is.
That makes sense. Way to brighten it out for me.
Yeah,
Show
no
me
worries.
show me what it really means.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bring it to light.
It's like the second place of all award shows. You get into the Louisville Slugger Silver Slugger Award.
Not the gold slugger, silver slugger,
Yeah.
bronze slugger.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
That was exhausting right there. It really
So,
got me going. Got the
I-
blood boiling.
we're like we're an hour in at this point, so maybe we should call it quits and
Yeah.
and just leave it at this point.
Sorry about the rant, everybody. Hey, but I'd like to hear the people's comments. You know, if they have any comments on how they feel about it. I don't want to get into a crazy debate or anything, but I mean, you feel free to hit us up on the page, hit us up on rmp.me or on the Facebook page, or send us a message, whatever.
Yeah, and if you guys feel passionately about this topic or about a topic of the like, go ahead and let us know. But we're not trolling anybody. Like we're not. Gonna
Yeah,
get into
I'm not here to
debates about
cause a debate.
whatever. Yeah, you guys are.
These are just our opinions
Yeah.
and our thoughts.
And if you guys have opinions, you guys can let us know. You can voice those on our Facebook page or letting us know through email. Or shoot, you can even start your own podcast and we'll listen to it just so we can hear what you have to say.
Yeah,
But yeah. So,
banter.
yeah. So, everybody, thanks for listening to episode 34 of the Random Nothing Podcast. You guys can go find us at randomnothingpodcast.com or our Facebook page. Yeah, all our information is on our website. So,
Cool. Well, thanks for listening. We're out.
Yeah.
Peace.
Bye.